everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today I am bringing you my December TBR. So I honestly cannot even believe that it is time for me to be posting my December TBR. This year has been absolutely flying by, as I'm sure that everybody will say, but we are going to attempt to finish out the year strong. Now, my original Goodreads goal for the year was 75 books. As of the time I'm filming this, I've read 133. So of course, I decided that I was going to be ambitious and try to finish the year at 150 books. So, despite the fact that I am trying to do Christmas, I'm going to be filming 3 videos a week in December instead of 2, and just the general craziness that comes with the end of the year, of course I have a TBR that's 15 books long. So we are probably going way too ambitious with this TBR, but that's okay. As always, these are just books that are on my radar, ones that I really want to get to. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get to them. We're going to be doing a lot of audiobooks this month, but we will just have to see how it goes. Before we get into the books, if you are new here and you're not already, be sure to go down and hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon down below so that you never miss out on any of my content. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first little mini TBR that I want to tell you guys about is for a readathon that's going to be happening over in the Weeby Bookin' Book Club, which is hosted by Jacqueline at Weeby Bookin'. If you don't watch her channel already, I'm going to leave her link down below. She is incredible. I love her. Go check her out. But she has a book club over on Facebook, and they do a ton of events every single month, and they're doing a Christmas-themed readathon in December. I don't remember all the details off the top of my head, but again, I will leave a link to her book club down below if you want to go and sign up, and then you can see what all the hype is about. But for this readathon, there are 5 different prompts. I'm going to be covering all the prompts with 4 books, and we'll talk about those first. So the first book that I'm going to read covers 2 of the prompts for reading a book with a Christmas cover and a book with the cover has red, white, or green on it. And for those prompts, I'm going to be reading Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. This is a little bit of a backlist title. This is a kind of anthology. All 3 of the authors have written connected Christmas stories that form this book. This actually just got turned into a Netflix film that I'm really interested in seeing, but I want to read the book first, and I think that this is the perfect opportunity to finally get it off of my TBR. The next prompt is to read a book that gets you in the Christmas spirit, and for this one, I'm going to be picking up Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. Now, John Grisham, if you know anything about him, is actually like a mystery thriller author, I believe, but this is a random Christmas novel that he wrote back in 2001. And this novel is actually the inspiration for the movie Christmas with the Cranks, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. This is really short, so I figured I might as well knock it out. If you've never seen Christmas with the Cranks or have never heard of this book before, essentially follows this couple who every year they go crazy at Christmas. They throw a huge holiday party, buy all kinds of gifts, decorate the whole house along with the rest of the neighborhood. But this year their daughter is actually joining the Peace Corps and she is not going to be home for Christmas. So the Cranks decide that they are going to skip Christmas and go on a Caribbean cruise instead. But when they get a phone call from their daughter telling them, surprise, I'm going to be home for Christmas, they have to quickly try to reverse and get everything planned again. The movie stars Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, and like I said, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's heartwarming, so I'm hoping that the novel will bring all of those things in as well. The next prompt is to read a book that was gifted to you, and for this one, I'm going to try to read The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. Now, this book was actually gifted to me by my mother-in-law. It was her mother's before her, and they both loved it. I have never read this one, so I'm excited to read it as well. Now, I really do not know that much about this one other than it is a memoir that a ton of people know and love. I think that it's either already been made into a movie or is going to be made into a movie, but regardless, it again is not that long, so I'm hoping that I can knock this one out as well. And the last prompt is to read a book that involves your favorite Christmas tradition. And for this one, this book is not Christmas related at all, but I'm going to be picking up Sourdough by Robin Sloan. Now, my favorite Christmas tradition is baking, and this book talks all about baking. Now, I don't know too much about this novel, but from what little I do know, it follows our main character, Lois, who has this favorite bakery that I think is going to be going out of business, but she is one of their most loyal customers, and before they close, they give her their beloved sourdough starter, and she has to care for it, keep it alive, and she winds up getting more invested than she should and finding out some secrets or something. I'm really not 100% sure. The cover makes me think that it's going to have something to do with aliens. I have no idea. I don't know a whole lot about it. All I know is that it involves baking. This one has been kind of on my radar for a while, so if I had the chance, I would like to knock it out in December. So the rest of the books on this list are not Christmas related. They are just books that I want to try to get in before the end of the year because I have a feeling that I'm going to include some of them on some of my end of the year videos, but some of them are random. Some have just been on challenge lists that I'm trying to finish off, and some are just kind of what I'm in the mood for. So all of this is subject to change, but here we go. So the first book that I want to try to knock out is Red, White, and Royal Primordial Blue by Casey McQuiston. I cannot believe that I have not read this novel yet. This is the second time that I've checked it out from the library and somehow have not gotten to it yet. Everybody and their mom already knows what this book is about, but essentially it is set in an alternate America where after Barack Obama left office, the first female president was elected, but her son and one of the crown princes of, I think, Scotland have historically not liked each other, and it's bad for their relations, so they are forced into a friendship and it blossoms into something more. Now, this is a book that I have heard absolutely nothing but hype about. I have hyped it up. I put it on my 5-star predictions video, which I A, want to finish up, but B, I think there is a very strong possibility that this book will make it onto my top books of 2019. So obviously I need to finish it in 2019 if I'm going to talk about it in that video. So please shame me in the comments to finally get this one read. Now, the next couple books that I want to read are way too ambitious, and who knows if I'll actually get them done because they're all really long, but the Diviner series finishes up in January. There are 3 books that have already been published and the 4th book comes out in January. My plan was to start re-listening to them on audio back in October. That never happened. So why don't we just add all 3 of the Diviner's audiobooks onto my TBR for December? That can't possibly go wrong. But if all goes well, I'm hoping to listen to the audiobooks for The Diviners, Lair of Dreams, and Before the Devil Breaks You, all in the month of December. I do have access to the audiobooks through my library, so they're going to be easy to get. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through them just doing chores around the house and stuff, but these books are so long, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to, but regardless, they might leak into January, but I just want to reread them all before The King of Crows comes out. Next is another book that I cannot believe I haven't already finished, and that is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you won't know the debacle about me actually receiving this copy of this novel. This was a pre-order. I pre-ordered it. I was under the impression that a pre-order meant that it would be on my doorstep the day that it was published, but no, it was published on November 5th, and I had to call out Barnes & Noble on Twitter to get somebody to talk to me about where this book was, and it didn't come until almost a week and a half later. And by that point, I was really, really busy, and I haven't started this yet, and this book is almost 700 pages long. I want to give it the time and attention that it deserves, so I haven't gotten to it yet. Hopefully, I'll start it soon, and I'll love it. I know that I'll love it. This is another one that I really, really think is going to be on my top books of the year, but obviously I have to read it in 2019 to count it as one of my favorite books of 2019. But I'm trying to stay away from all reviews, but I'm so looking forward to this one. It's going to break my heart. I know that it is, but I want it. Another one that I have on my TBR for the month is Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. Now again, I'm kind of fuzzy on the synopsis of this, but I believe that it follows a group of teenagers who find themselves in a Neverworld wake. So I think that they are stuck in a time loop essentially, and they have to decide on one of them to die. And as long as they can't decide, they're gonna keep reliving this loop over and over again. Now, I have not read anything from Marisha Pessl before. I know that her book Night Film was really popular a few years ago. I haven't gotten to that one yet, but this one I've had the ebook on hold for my library since March. And it is just now ready for me, so if I don't read it now, I feel like I never will. The next book I've got is a maybe, maybe not, but that is Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. Now, Call Down the Hawk is a spin-off of the Raven Boys, and I believe it follows Rowan, and I like Rowan. I liked the Raven Boys. It has been a couple years since I read the series, so I don't remember a ton about it. I don't know how much you have to know from the Raven Boys to enjoy Call Down the Hawk, but regardless, this one is one that I might pick up. I'm probably not going to be that heartbroken if I don't get to it, but it is on my radar. Another one on my list is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Now, this is another November release that I was incredibly excited for, but again, I haven't had access to it yet, and I just haven't had the time, quite frankly, even if I did have it in my possession. But it is going to be coming from my library very, very soon, so I'm hoping to pick it up as well. I've read the synopsis of this a couple times, and I still don't even really know enough to tell you guys what it's about, but if it's anything like The Night Circus, it is going to be full of magic and whimsy and intrigue and all kinds of that, everything that I enjoy and everything that I've been wanting more of from Erin Morgenstern. And the last book that I have on my TBR for December is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, and this is the second book in the Skyward series. Now, this book comes out in the tail end of November, so there was no way that I could have read it in the month, but I already have placed a hold on it from my library, so as soon as they get it, I will know where I'm going to be in line, and hopefully I'll be able to get it in the month of December if it comes in. But regardless, I am very, very excited for this sequel. Skyward has been one of my favorite books of the year. Brandon Sanderson is an author that I am really, really intrigued by and wanting to dip my toe into even more. I've read 2 of his books so far. This will be my 3rd. So regardless, books, I'm really excited to continue this sci-fi series. So that is it for all the books that are on my December TBR. Again, no guarantee on any of these, but let me know down in the comments down below which one off this list I have to get to in December, because I really want to know. I want to take your guys' thoughts into consideration, and I need you to help me narrow this down. If you enjoyed today's video, please go down and give it a big thumbs up, as well as hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon down below so that you never miss out on any of my content. So until next time, bye!